Drunk tank, 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 drunk tank. Jeff is a fact.
Man, I was about to say something really nice about that. And then now I can't.
That was awesome.
I was going to talk about how it sounded like that lame Joan Baez shit my parents listened to when I was a kid. But I can't say anything nice now. Sorry, sir.
But I thought it was awesome.
That was fantastic.
I think that should be our permanent theme song.
That's one of our best entries ever.
Yeah, it's great.
And I'm pretty sure that's not a Reliant K song.
Who sent that? Who sent that in?
Soon-to-be banned user.
That was Melman.
That
Melman.
was awesome.
You're right, it was Melman.
Melman is now my favorite user. It sounded like I was thinking it sounded like Drunk Tank as brought to you by the Coen Brothers, because it sounded like a theme song that would be in a Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah.
And then it ended like a Coen Brothers movie does. So it was perfect.
The unexpected twist. You didn't see it coming.
There you go.
It's like you think it's just this like catchy little tune, and then it's a comment on someone's sexuality, right?
Nice.
It was a sexual slur. Was that what I heard? At the end?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
I took it as a compliment.
Do you? Nice.
Yep.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear you weren't offended then at all.
I loved it. My favorite. Vote from Bernie on that.
Thumbs up.
It's the best theme song of the week.
There you go.
The best theme song of Wednesday. Let's just say theme song of the day of the week.
Yes.
Nice.
Hey, Jack's here again.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing well.
I'm surprised you came back.
Yeah, me too. I'm surprised I was invited back.
I didn't realize you were into getting beat up and
It's kind of
verbally
a
harassed.
fetish thing.
It's kind of my thing, I guess.
So it's a fetish thing, huh? You like getting yelled at?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
You're into schmo videos? You know
Schmo?
what that is?
I have no idea what that is.
What is that?
You can look it up online later. It's something Bernie and I know about.
Is that a link dump or is that NSFW?
Yeah, it could be a link dump. Sure, why not?
It's due to like really buff women to come over to their house and basically sit on them, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
And wrestle with them and beat them up.
And yell at them. And
What
call
is
them
wrong with
weaklings.
this world?
Don't judge me.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with this world because a dude who likes that can find someone else who likes that. That's
Yep.
what's good about the world now.
There's a dude that wakes up in the morning and says, I want a muscular woman to sit on my face and call me fat. And quite possibly might be you, this dude. And within 2 hours, he could probably have it going on.
Thank you,
That's
Craigslist.
fucking America.
That's
right
Craigslist,
there.
right?
That's
Or
Craigslist and
What
the
you
internet.
want when you want it.
Or he can log on and talk to other dudes who like that stuff. And they're like, hey,
Yeah.
let me tell you my story about the best time a muscular woman ever sat on my chest and told me I was no good at Scrabble.
I'm gonna have to ask you to spell that for me later, so I can definitely include that. In
Yeah,
the,
no
in
problem.
The link dump.
See, people talk a lot about how the internet is making people more perverse, but I think it's making them less perverse because they have the ability to kind of exercise their crazy stuff that they're into.
I don't know. It's more of like a justification. You're like, man, I thought I was fucked up. Did you hear about schmoing? Jesus Christ!
I think
I'm
it's-
not nearly fucked up as I thought I was.
I don't think it's making them more perverse. It's just making them more perverse in the same location. Is all it is.
I think we talked about this at breakfast this morning. Jeff and I went to breakfast this morning.
We had a lovely time.
Where'd you go?
We went to Cafe 1886. I had the oatmeal with blueberries,
I had the breakfast quesadilla.
Ooh.
which is healthy.
Yeah.
Because it starts with a Q, isn't that what you said? Anyway, over breakfast, we were talking about how the world seems more dangerous now, but that it's actually been just as bad as it's always been, and we just didn't know about all the stuff that was happening before.
Right. It's just you get information instantly and constantly from everywhere.
That which, going back to the Coen Brothers movies, that's essentially the theme of No Country for Old Men, is that the U.S., or the world has always been a very tough place, and that it's no place for old men. It's just as you get older, you think the world's getting worse, but it's always been bad. You just didn't have any perspective for it.
Absolutely. Like, you know what was dangerous? Living in the Old West, worried about getting scalped by Indians. That was dangerous.
Yeah.
Fucking not letting your 6-year-old play in the front yard is not the same thing.
Not quite the same thing. And it's, that thing about not letting your 6-year-old play in the front yard, I mean, that's all in your head.
Yeah.
All in your head. Gus, you'll like this. Fox News is on in my house a lot for reasons I don't want to explain.
You're right. I do love it.
So Geraldo Rivera is apparently now a regular commentator on the Bill O'Reilly show.
He's like the penultimate example of your people, right? Geraldo Rivera. Like the pinnacle of success that you can
Awesome
achieve.
mustache.
I guess him and Edward James Olmos. Anyway,
He was on there talking about the girl in Florida who is kidnapped and then was subsequently found in Alabama, I believe. Do you know this story at all?
No.
Young girl.
Was she okay?
I like that you looked at Jeff when he said Alabama.
No, she was not okay. She was not okay. And it made a lot of press because, of course, it was a young girl. But then the mother was on the news when the daughter was missing, saying, "We won't press any charges. We want to get you help. Just turn our daughter back in. Give our daughter back to us." And then when the daughter came up dead, the mother went back on the news and said, "We're going to find you and we're going to kill you." Basically, she did a 180.
That's awesome.
Go figure. But Geraldo Rivera was talking about how you can't just let she was picked up, I guess, coming home from school.
How old is this kid?
This is all from memory. I think she was about 6 years old.
Okay.
She's a young girl, just a kid. And Geraldo Rivera was saying, I don't understand this at all. He was saying to people in the audience, you can't let your kids go out and wander around by themselves. I was thinking about this, and here's the rules that I came up with. It's what I call the precious poodle rule.
The precious poodle rule.
We have to treat our children like we treat our wonderful purebred dogs that we have. Like you wouldn't let your purebred animal walk around by itself. You wouldn't do that and hope it gets home safely on its own. You have to treat your children like you would treat your precious poodle. And it was like, how out of touch can one guy be?
No kidding.
And he went on, and nobody stopped him and said, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I bet everyone
Geraldo?
that was watching agreed.
How about you treat your fucking precious dog like you treat your kid?
When I was 6 years old, I walked like fucking half a mile to the bus stop and home every day.
But how can you relate a kid to a pure? The analogy made no sense to me whatsoever.
Treat your child like it has zero intelligence.
Well, it's a backwards analogy, right? I mean,
yeah. If anything, you
should be making the reverse argument.
Yeah, man, it was a really strange thing. It was truly bizarre to hear him talk about that. I'll see if I can find a clip for it for the linked up.
Well, I used to live in Jersey, which is where Geraldo lives, and I've seen his house. That dude's pretty out of touch.
I would bet.
I think not finding Capone's treasure sent him over the edge.
Yeah.
He's been loopy ever since then.
Yeah, no, that was Al Capone's vaults, right?
Mm-hmm. I remember.
Man, that was like
primetime TV special.
Like one of the first, I guess you could kind of call it almost reality TV in a way.
Kind of, yeah.
Where they had these treasure hunters, and they knew the location of Al Capone's vault, and they were going to open them live on TV.
And they had like the whole hour-long special leading up to it, talking about the life of Al Capone and speculating about what was in the vault and all the riches that they were going to find.
And it was empty, right?
Yeah. There might have been a few moths in there.
And it's always like one of those things, too, where it's a 5-minute show, but they've got a 2-hour block of network time, so all they do is just build up to it and build up to it. And then, boom,
build
nothing.
Up to a giant fart. Absolutely nothing. Did you guys... I know you guys did. I'm not sure about Jack. Did you see the new Avatar trailer?
I've seen one on TV. Is that the one you're referring to? Or is there a theatrical trailer?
There's a theatrical trailer. It's like 3.5 minutes long.
Well, let me guess. It's all action-packed and trying to make the movie sexy as hell.
Nope.
Really?
It's all character-driven.
Oh, wow.
100% awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
It's a tremendous trailer.
I assumed after the 16 minutes sort of, I would say flopped, because people didn't seem enthused. Like they seemed like they were released that trying to make people like super psyched for the movie, and now they'd be like, oh shit, we've got to drive this to the NASCAR fans.
No, I mean Bernie's right. They totally went the character-driven route.
Oh, that's awesome.
It looks good.
I'll take a look at that.
I take back everything bad I said about Avatar in previous Drunk Tanks.
I'll agree with that.
I'd like to point out I've never said anything bad about that movie.
I just had questions, I guess, more than anything. And it seems good. We'll see when the movie comes out.
I think our general consensus last time we talked about it was, let's wait and see. It's James Cameron.
James Cameron.
Yeah.
Makes James Cameron movies.
It's coming out in just over a month, right?
Yeah, I think
December 18th, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find a place to link it from online and put it in the link dump. But it was really good.
I liked that trailer so much, I turned it off. So, because I didn't want to see any more of a movie that I knew I was now going to see.
Sign of a good trailer.
It is. Yep.
What's the best trailer you've ever seen?
Wow. I would say there was these little commercials that were for episode 1, and there was one for Qui-Gon Jinn talking to Jake Lloyd.
I remember
that
those.
Was really cool, I thought. And it was, they were way better than anything else they put out for episode 1. I was so amped. I must have watched that 1 30-second spot about 30 times.
I think the trailer for the final Lord of the Rings movie was awesome.
That was pretty
I must have watched
Wow.
that 20 times.
Yeah, that Return of the King trailer was good.
Yeah.
You know what was a good trailer, which the movie is horrible? Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor had a great trailer.
Dude,
and that movie was so bad.
I don't know if I remember that
I think
trailer.
the best trailer to worst movie probably has to go to Charlie's Angels 2. That was an
That-
awesome trailer.
Dude, you're naming all my favorite trailers. Man.
That trailer was
that
incredible.
trailer was fantastic.
The stuff they do in that trailer is incredible.
That's where they like dive after the helicopter, and
Yeah.
like, all that stuff's over in the first 2 minutes of the movie. And you're like, oh no,
They go down the barrel of the tank, and they drive a truck off a bridge, get out.
it's off of a dam.
off a dam.
Yeah, that's on the damn.
Yeah, they get out of the truck, get to the bed of the truck, unravel a Black Hawk helicopter, and then get in the helicopter and fly away in midair. It's awesome. Really awesome.
That should have been a 2-minute movie.
And, you know, I honestly don't know why more people don't make trailers that aren't directly just edits from the movie. Like,
Yeah.
why not just do an additional scene? I love doing that in Red vs. Blue, where our trailers are just an episode that's not part of the continuous story.
I guess it depends on quality, right? Because Spider-Man did that. The first Spider-Man trailer
right.
was that crappy trailer where
the
Spider-Man,
bank robbery.
the bank robbery,
Yeah.
where Spider-Man webbed the two dudes between. I think
That was the Twin Towers.
The Twin
and They
Towers,
pulled it because
yeah.
they released that about a month before the Twin Towers.
And we
got
were
hit.
all like, "This is retarded."
Yeah,
it was stupid.
We did laugh at that one. I remember that.
Well, it was the helicopter getting caught in the web.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
literally like a spider web.
It was the giant spider web between the World Trade Center towers. Well, you liked the Prince of Persia trailer that just came out. Didn't
Well,
you, Jeff?
here's my problem. Okay, I thought the movie looked like it had good special effects and a good budget, and it would be fun to watch, kind of in a like The Mummy kind of way. Mm-hmm. But I can't get over the fact that Jake Gyllenhaal looks like a douche.
Yeah, he
and
looks-
every time he's on screen, you're like, oh, and then you see a cool special effect, and you're like, oh, and then Jake Gyllenhaal like pushes his hair back, and you go, oh.
It's going to be interesting to see when that movie comes out, what it's like.
Yeah, I know. I'll probably see it though, just because the budget.
Well, is that the biggest budgeted movie based on a video game?
I don't know. What's the budget?
Obviously, Tomb Raider would
Yeah, I guess Tomb Raider's up there.
would be the nearest contender, or maybe one of the Resident Evil, but those seem to be dropping in budget, not going up.
Yeah.
Or
They're
maybe
still making money.
Maybe X versus Sever.
Yeah, I think they're still making money, but I think I think they're making them for less and less money.
Yeah.
So we're talking about just the budget, right? Let me see if I can find some numbers for you on Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
it definitely seems like the Resident Evil movies very quickly fell off a plateau. It seems like they spent all their money on the first movie.
Yeah, but number 4 is coming out now, they say.
Really?
Yeah.
They're still making those? I
They're
don't
going to make
think
another one.
I don't
Mila
think
Jovovich is involved.
I don't think I saw Extinction. Extinction was the last one,
I
right?
saw it. It was the one in the desert.
Yeah, it was desert.
How was it?
It was horrible.
Really?
It was horrible.
Well, Mila Jovovich married the director of those, right?
I don't know, did she?
Paul W.S. Anderson, not Paul Thomas Anderson,
Right.
but the
W.S.
other
Anderson.
Paul Anderson.
Wasn't she also married to the French dude?
Luc Besson?
Yeah, she was married to him, wasn't she?
I don't
Was
know.
she?
I don't think so.
Hey,
Maybe. I'm not going to say no.
Maybe,
Right?
maybe
That's
I'm
like-
thinking about Natalie Portman. She married Natalie Portman, didn't she?
It's like some kind of nerd,
In my dream.
nerd dream, right?
Yeah.
To direct a movie and then marry your leading actress. That's what Kate Beckinsale did, right? Where
Yeah,
she married
yeah.
the director of Underworld.
Lots of people do that. What's her face from fucking Shannon Elizabeth did that too, right?
And
I make out with Joel all the time. The production budget of Lara Croft Tomb Raider: The Cradle of Life, which was a sequel, was $95 million.
Jesus.
Did that
Wow.
movie didn't make its money back then?
No.
It made $156 million worldwide.
Okay.
But it made only $64 million domestically.
Yeah.
So that'd probably be what, break even?
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on what they
it's
sold the
after-
overseas rights for.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm sure it did okay in DVD sales and rentals.
I think foreign throws all that stuff up. Yeah, I'm sure they made their money back.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're okay. Plus, you got to hang out with Angelina Jolie.
that'd be worth $100 million.
Yeah,
I'd pay
I'd
$94 million for that.
I wouldn't know. You're only burning $30 million, really,
Yeah.
after you get your money back.
Well, the big,
Still worth it.
The big deal about the first one was it was the movie with John Voight and Angelina Jolie together for the
Yeah.
first time, right? Or maybe not
last
first time.
Yeah, everybody's been waiting on that. You know, it does go to show that Angelina Jolie is probably the #1 starlet in America, and you really can't name what her big hit is.
Yeah, I can. Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yep.
Yeah, now,
But that's her only real.
but she was already the #1
She
starlet
was.
when she made that movie.
That
Yeah.
is her only big success. That might
The-
be her
the-
only $100 million.
Well, the initial
well,
Tomb Raider movie, I think, made a lot of money, didn't it?
Yeah, well, she's basically got 2 Tomb Raiders and that's,
Wanted's in there?
Yeah, Wanted just came out. How much did Wanted make?
I don't know.
Gone in 60 Seconds did okay too.
Yeah, that did
But I
really
wouldn't
well.
say she had like.
Hey, Hackers did really
Yeah,
well.
Hackers
No,
is
it's
probably what she's known for. What she broke out.
I think
that
what
was her
she's
first
known
big
for
movie,
is
right?
probably Gia, but and what
Gia
she
or-
should be known for.
Yeah, hell
Girl
yeah.
Interrupted when she was a supporting character.
Yeah.
There's no production budget.
She won an
numbers,
Oscar for that.
No production budget numbers available for Prince of Persia that I can find. I'm sure they're out there. I just can't find them right now.
Angelina Jolie won an Oscar for that.
For Girl Interrupted?
She did. That's
Yeah,
what she won.
yeah.
That's what she
Best
made,
supporting
made,
actress?
made out with her brother on stage and all that. Remember?
Oh right,
hot.
That's pretty hot.
that's what we call that Alabama hot.
Making out with your brother on stage.
Nice. So I saw an ad last night. Speaking of ads and trailers, which is basically ads for movies, right? Old Spice has this ad. It's I'm a man, I like different scents. It's you're gonna have to link dump this thing, but it's incredible. And to this day, Old Spice is the only company that I've actively purchased their items based on their advertising.
Didn't Old Spice do the one where the guy was singing the song while he was sliding into home plate?
I think so.
Isn't that an Old Spice one?
And they do like the Bruce Campbell commercials where you're singing "Hungry Like the Wolf." Like the advertising on Old Spice is fantastic. And that's like, have you ever purchased a product based solely on advertising?
That's a good question. When I was
Probably,
a kid, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah?
I'm sure I have, yeah.
Like, whoever does those commercials, I applaud you. 'Cause I'm sure they're listening.
I can't think. I bought Forza 2 because I liked the Forza 2 commercial.
Oh, yeah?
I thought I thought it was really good.
I pre-ordered Left 4 Dead 2 from GameStop because I liked the commercial.
That was a fantastic commercial.
I might be biased, though.
You know, I don't know if you read this, but a couple of weeks ago, the community manager for Infinity Ward had some statements about advertising for video games, talking about how video game companies and developers should be taking their marketing back in-house and not contracting out to third-party marketing agencies.
That's a horrible idea.
They were talking about how they know their game better than anyone else, and they could do a better job marketing it. And
Next to
us. It's really unnecessary to farm out work like this to an outside agency.
Well, okay. Making a commercial is one thing. There's a whole other part of advertising, which is the media buying, which that's really the major part of the contract that you're doing. I'm sure the video game guys could make their own trailers and do a great job.
Here's the follow-up to that. I don't know if you heard about this either. But
aren't they getting in trouble?
Yes. They released like their own viral video for promoting Modern Warfare 2.
Okay, can I say one thing real quick? Mm-hmm. We're a week away from the release, and I don't want spoilers about what's going to happen in Modern Warfare 2. I have managed to avoid it.
No, this is no spoiler.
Well, which is horrible because a huge thing just hit and I can't talk about it.
Well, I'll get out of here.
No,
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to know either.
I don't want to know either. But anyway, they released this viral PSA. It's supposed to be like a tongue-in-cheek thing.
This is kind of like their Kim Jong-il thing?
No. This was.
I know
they did this in house.
Why don't we let Gus say it?
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Everyone keeps fucking interrupting me. Do you want to guess, Jack? Maybe someone will figure it out.
Is it the baseball player thing?
Yes, they released a viral PSA that they called it "Fight Against Grenade Spam," and it's just like talking about people who throw grenades excessively in Call of Duty. Well, the "Fight Against Grenade Spam" initials spell out fags. And they kept insinuating that people who throw lots of grenades are fags, and they got into a ton of trouble as a result of it. And this is what happens.
Keep it in-house, genius.
Yeah, when you do it in-house and you don't, go to someone who maybe has a little bit more experience,
understands
this stuff.
Standards and practices.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't seen the video. I've only read the stories about it because they pulled it down. But apparently, I guess some pitcher for the Phillies was like the voiceover for it.
He got in trouble.
Cole Harnels? I don't know who that is.
Cole Hamill, right?
Cole Hamill?
The Phillies can afford trouble right now. That being said, though, GameStop just announced that's the most pre-ordered game in the history of the company.
Mm-hmm.
And in that guy's defense, in Philadelphia, fag is spelled with a PH. There's no way he could have known.
Yeah, but anyway, I thought it was interesting timing that they badmouth outside agencies, then immediately drop the ball on their next project, their next marketing piece.
Let's be honest; it's not going to get anything pulled from shelves. No one's going to fine you. There's no governing body that's going to fine you for viral marketing standards and practices. So the fact that people are talking about this acronym makes it work. It's working.
Yeah, but no one's seeing it. They pulled the video.
Oh, because videos, you can pull them from the internet and they'll never exist again.
Exactly right. I'll ask Dallas Clark about that. The thing about Modern Warfare 2 is it seems like why spend any more time marketing that, I mean, it's just it's going to sell bajillions of copies.
Everyone who's going to buy that game should already know about it, right? Like, there's not someone who's like a huge Call of Duty 4 fan. Like Modern Warfare is like, what? They're making a sequel?
But it does.
That was 2 years ago.
What?
It does make me worried that Infinity Ward, if they're doing this kind of thing, is going to take the place of Gamecock or Midway. There's been a void left of shitty marketing from those companies, and somebody has to fill that gap. Hopefully, it's not Infinity Ward. Hopefully, nobody does.
God,
because you got to admit the Prestige edition of Modern Warfare 2, where they give you
it's ridiculous.
What are the night vision goggles? Yeah, that's.
How has that not been a bigger deal? I figured Fox News would have bid on that, been like, oh, they're teaching kids to run around at night.
They're not functioning NVGs, are they?
Yeah, they are. They're fully working night vision goggles.
Really?
They sell toys. They sell kids' toys now that are night vision goggles.
Why did I
pseudo?
Why did I just pre-order the normal version then? God damn it!
What do they?
They're not, Gus. You can go to the toy aisle.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to fucking order them.
Here's an honest question, because I'm curious. When I think of game companies making their own viral marketing, I think of Gamecock, and I want to shoot myself. I think of that fucking Serious Sam video they did that just came out that was really unwatchable. It was like 7 minutes long, and I think of shit like that. Infinity Ward. What's an example of a developer that's actually made good viral marketing?
Well, I'll say a company that does good marketing of their own materials might be Blizzard, when they release their own in-house cinematics and things like that to promote their own games.
Bungie does too. Bungie makes those vid docs, which are awesome.
The Vidocs?
Bungie
Yeah.
Vidocs are good.
You don't say video.
I don't.
think his
I don't.
pronunciation
Does
is correct.
Bungie actually make the Vidocs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jim McCullen makes those.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they release those. And then probably another great example is Valve's Meet the Blank series
Yep.
from Team Fortress 2. People love those.
Those are great.
Yeah, I really liked the Meet the Blank series that Valve did. So yeah, I guess there are a few game companies that do it.
Do it well.
And it's cool because the Sniper one, elements from the viral piece then have made it back into the game. Like the jar of urine is now in the game.
Right. Mhm.
See, that's the other problem too, is that video game companies, they tend to do things that maybe aren't broad enough. You know,
Sure.
like do you really want? I'm playing Fable 2 right now, and a big part of Fable 2 is farting for people's amusement. The last thing I'd want to see is Lionhead making a viral piece about nonstop farting.
Right.
You know.
Natal farts or something.
Yeah. There's a lot in a game, and maybe it's better for someone who's not directly related with the development of that game to take a look at it and say, here's what we should focus on.
Right.
Because developers have so much they can focus on.
Maybe when the Natal version of Fable comes out, it'll have an infrared camera and it can sense when you fart and your character will fart on screen at the same time.
We can hope.
Yeah.
Like
I think that's been done, right?
Real-time fart technology.
They'll see your ass
R-
cheeks clench
RTFC.
up.
Methane detector.
It's a new FPF genre.
Oh man. So
Before we get too far away from movies, can I talk about something real quick?
Yeah, please do.
Jack, do you follow Tim Alamo on Twitter?
I do.
There was a really cool thing that happened this week where he posted Tim League is the guy who owns and runs the Alamo Theater here in Austin. We've mentioned them many times
He's-
before.
And the new highball.
Yeah, he started the Draft House and owns the original Alamo.
4 of them.
Right.
3 of them.
3 of them, which is one less than what I said. And in case you're wondering, too, there's also a Left 4 Dead 2 mod now that somebody made.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. You can look up Left 4 Dead 2 Alamo, and it shows one of the Alamo theaters.
It's
That's actually one. That's the one in Austin he doesn't own.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
Lake
of
Creek.
course.
It's one of the franchised ones. But anyway, Tim's a very cool guy. And they do all these fun little bumpers before the movie, because you kind of have to show up 40 minutes before an Alamo. That's the one drag to the Alamo Draft House, is you got to show up early. But you can drink beer.
Yeah, you got to show up early and drink and eat food.
And they make
Yeah.
it entertaining by giving you what stuff like you're about to talk about, I have a feeling.
Yeah, like they do these little bumpers and cool stuff like that. And, like they had former Governor Ann Richards in a Don't Talk in the movie theater.
So good.
That was a good
Yeah.
one.
Where she comes in and beats the hell out of a guy and throws him out of the theater. And it's just really cool stuff like that. Well, he posted about his experience. One of their big things is no talking. And
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
he put up a little flag. At the Alamo, you order by putting up these little pieces of paper. You can also use those pieces of paper to tell your waiter, these guys right here are making noise in front of me. Can you tell them to be quiet? So that you don't have to go, hey, shut up, asshole. And they have a no talking rule. If you get corrected once, that's it. And if you get corrected again, you're just tossed out of the theater.
Yeah.
Without a refund.
Without a refund. And they put that all over at the beginning of the movie.
And it works, because I know a girl that works there and has worked there for a long time, and she's seen one person get kicked out
Yeah.
the entire time she's worked there.
Yep. And so this guy got shushed. Tim was at his own theater watching a movie and put up a flag saying these guys are talking, won't stop talking. So he finally said, okay, I'm going to write down and put it in. And the waiter shushed him. And the guy apparently went completely silent, but into like a rage silence.
Nice. I like
and
those.
waited the rest of the movie, then came out and started screaming at the waitstaff. And they said, well, this was the owner of the theater, so you can't really go over heads because the owner of the theater was in your movie, and he's the guy who raised the flag on you. And then he tracked Tim down in the parking lot as Tim was pulling away and started like beating on his windshield and spitting on his car. And Tim said, whoever this guy is, yeah, you said you'll never come to my theater again? Good, don't come back.
Dude,
Yeah,
what
no
a
kidding.
fucking dickhead. I hope he leaves Austin.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope he got, I don't know, I hope he got hit by a fucking car on the way
Dude,
to his
you
car in the
lose
parking
your
lot.
Alamo Draft House privileges. What else is there for you in Austin? Like, he can go to the Whole Foods. I guess that's about it. Every once in a while, go to the educational IMAX.
But I just love that there's a theater owner's like, yeah, get the fuck out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want your
Yeah.
business. That's great.
Why would you want that business? What a fucking dickhead.
They take that stuff seriously, and that's why we
I
love
hope
them.
that guy spits on our podcast.
And it was nothing but positive feedback from everybody on Twitter that I saw.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, of course. Everyone hates that. Why is it that everyone hates the person who talks during the movie, but people still fucking talk during the movie? No one likes that. Everyone knows it's rude.
I don't know.
Who are these people?
No, actually, I can vouch for another theater that when I was living in L.A. I went to the ArcLight, and there was a guy sitting next to me in one of the movies I was seeing, and they're very, very like intense about no talking, no texting during the movie, and they come out before, like someone will come out before the movie, introduce it, say please shut off your cell phones, no talking, whatever. And this guy next to me busted open a cell phone and started texting, and I was having that quiet rage deal. And then we had someone from the theater came up and asked him to stop. It was incredible. I was like sitting there like, oh my god, that's freaking great.
Yeah, I love the ArcLight. They're really good about that. But and Jeff and I actually, the first time we went to the ArcLight, Jeff and I went and saw episode 3 there with a friend of ours.
On opening day.
It was on opening day. We were out there for E3, I think, and we took a break and went over to go see Star Wars with a friend of ours named Kent. And Kent's a big guy. He's real tall, real big. Anyway,
He's the guy who makes Ask a Ninja.
Yeah, it's Kent Nichols.
And we were all sitting down at the theater, and it was a pretty packed house. And like this family came in and sat in front of us. It was mother, father, and like their three, maybe whatever, the 3 sons, let's say. And they were all probably 10 years old.
Yeah, like teen, tween age, somewhere around there.
And the movie starts. Like you said, the guy comes out, asks everyone to be quiet, turn off your phones. Movie starts, beautiful, digital projection. First time I'd ever seen a digital projection. And the 3 10-year-old boys just start talking to each other nonstop during the movie. And then I was getting pretty upset about it. Like, they wouldn't shut the fuck up, and they're sitting right in front of us. And Kent leans over onto the chairs and puts his head right between all of them and goes, "Hey, you know how y'all are talking? That's totally awesome. Keep it up."
Big, hairy, fucking 6'4".
I don't think
6'6",
I don't- I don't-
6'6",
I
kid,
don't think
6'6". He's
they-
a big dude.
I don't think they exhaled the rest of the movie. They fucking sat like statues just staring at the screen.
Those kids probably still have nightmares about the Yeti that shushed them.
They might be seeing a therapist. It was
But in their defense, how often do you get to see a Star Wars movie with Chewbacca?
Those kids will never go to the woods again.
it was pretty awesome.
But I gotta say I really appreciate that. There was somebody who posted from another podcast. He posted about going to a press screening, and they opened it to the public to get more reactions, and how all the press walked out because they could not watch a free movie with the general public. That they were just people were walking in and out of theater, walking up and down the aisles, yelling at the screen, and
That's funny.
the guy talked about the phenomenon of the say what I see guy who sat next to him, and everything he saw on screen, he just said, "There's there's a boat. Oh, there's the guy's coming after him.
He's got a gun."
I think we've all been around somebody like that.
That's incredible.
That's fucking great. Every time we hang out with Kent, or we have in the past, we haven't hung out with him in a while, something interesting happens. Do you remember when we all went out to that steak dinner in L.A.?
Oh,
He wanted
man.
to take us to some old school steak restaurant that was supposed to be like a Rat Pack kind of steak restaurant, and we get about a block from it, and there's helicopters.
Well, we couldn't
and there's
park.
police lines.
We couldn't park because the street was closed for some reason.
There was a fucking drive-by shooting in the parking lot of this restaurant, and we had to go around the cops to get in. It was crazy.
we had to walk under the crime scene tape, and they're like, "Who are you?" Like, "We're just gonna eat." They're like, "Okay, go ahead."
Oh yeah, why not?
I was like, "Okay." God, I forgot about that. Man, that was. I have no idea where that was in LA. That's before I really.
I remember where it was in the fucking ghetto.
Yeah, it was a Crenshaw.
It was before I had my vague handle on LA geography.
We were almost late to a network meeting this last trip out to L.A. Because of a high-speed chase.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got stuck behind a quote-unquote high speed, on the freeway when they all go slow, and they just won't pull the guy over because he's not being dangerous. But we were backed up for miles on the freeway following this chase. And we were close enough to see the cop cars blocking us off.
Really?
We were probably 20 or 30 cars back in line.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
And saw the wall of police cars. So it was cool, but really inconvenient.
Yeah, I
and
bet.
sucky.
It's like part of the real LA experience, though.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, that happens all the time in LA.
I never got to experience that. That was that in Earthquake. I never got to be in an earthquake, and I'm honestly kind of disappointed I wasn't in an earthquake.
Yeah,
not too
high speed
bad.
chase is like a sport in LA.
Well, they cover it now nationwide. I've seen every now and then, if you're watching daytime news or one of the 24-hour channels, they'll throw on the live feed. Oh, there's a chase in L.A.
Only the good ones, though. The ones that come up from the farm league.
We've had a lot of high-speed chases in Austin recently. Have you noticed that, Gus?
Yeah, there's been 2 that ended right at
In
our
our neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah,
We
like
had-
in the past couple months.
Somebody hit a homeless guy in a wheelchair.
I saw that dude like 15 minutes before he got killed.
That was fucking horrible.
Why didn't you tell him?
I should have warned him. That wasn't his normal corner either. Normally he's up on airport. I don't know what he was doing
Yeah.
down.
And you were late. You had to go to your U-Haul storage facility and get in your box. So you couldn't stop to warn him.
That sucked.
Is that the most obscure reference of all time, by the way?
Possibly.
Possibly.
It's a Primer
We've
reference.
probably talked about Primer on the
Yeah,
podcast.
we have talked about Primer.
Yeah, but I guarantee nobody's seen it.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, did you see the XKCD comic that came out this week?
Yeah.
Speaking of Primer, it's incredible. It's a timeline. It's Lord of the Rings,
Yes,
Star
it's
Wars.
incredible.
No, it's Lord of the
here it
Rings,
goes.
it's Star Wars, and it's Primer, and it's a visual timeline of characters where they are in location to each other. It's like the guy must have spent hours and hours and hours working on this thing. Like I can't do justice explaining it. Just you'll have to see it, but it's awesome. Gus,
Yeah.
you're shaking your head. Could you do anything like that?
I'm looking at
I wouldn't waste my time.
No, but you can. Okay, like Bernie's got it
Oh,
open.
the
here.
punchline's funny, though. If you'll see it, the punchline is funny because it's Primer.
No.
Yeah.
You know,
Cyanide and Happiness did actually a very funny time-traveling comic where I'll have to link it, but the guy goes from one panel into the next, like walks through the wall into it, and like drops down to the floor to the lower panels, and it's very seamless the way they did it. I thought it was very funny. So let's talk about more comic strips during the podcast.
Did you hear, Bernie, that SAG rejected the video game voiceover deal they had?
SAG rejected it.
Yeah.
After accepted it, though.
So the video game industry made an offer. SAG rejected their offer.
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know what that would entail, but I just know that video game voice actors don't get paid a lot.
Yeah, and that's what I guess SAG was upset about, because I guess there's like they call it an atmospheric provision, and it would allow video game makers to use an actor in 20 voice roles up to 300 words each at a daily base rate of $782.
Okay,
Is that good or bad?
let me tell you, well, 300 words each is absolutely nothing in a video game.
Yeah,
If
but
you-
that's for 20 voices, though.
for 20 voices, what does that mean?
Like they could be 20 voice roles. It could be 20 different characters at 300 words each.
It doesn't matter, man. If, like, let's take, for example, I don't know, somebody in a multiplayer game. Like an ODST, one of the ODSTs in ODST, or one of the survivors in Left 4 Dead. If you were to go through the sound library of just all the stuff they do, there's probably 200 uhs and and stuff like that. I mean, there's tens of thousands of lines sometimes that one voice actor can do.
Yeah, but I'm sure this is more intended not towards main characters, which obviously will have a ton of lines, but maybe a more ancillary character.
Okay. All right.
That's probably why they call it the atmospheric provision, because it's more like a background atmosphere
Did
character.
this start with the Nico dude? The guy who did Nico in Grand Theft Auto 4?
No, I'm sure it didn't. I'm
Well,
sure it
I know.
didn't.
Did he bring a lot of light to it?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, I think Grand Theft Auto being such a huge hit and generating so much money in a short period of time, it does become clear, like, wow, the people that you associate with the actual production. But you got to say, I mean, Tom Cruise gets paid $20 million because you put Tom Cruise on a poster, people will go see the movie.
Right.
And Tom Hanks. People did not buy Grand Theft Auto because this guy was doing the voice of Nico.
I'll go even further. His claim was that he popularized the character of Nico, and Nico was successful because of him. What's that guy's name?
Yeah. Also,
Good call.
Nico not been in one DLC, has he?
Yeah, he has.
No,
he's
yeah,
been
he
in
has,
every. He's been in every.
He
DLC.
makes cameos, but that could have been stuff they recorded a long
It
time
was
ago.
pre-recorded. He doesn't speak in the. He only uses words from like previous audio sessions.
Yeah.
Like I just saw him. I just ran into a pretty big scene in Gay Tony with him, and he doesn't say a word, but he's on screen for like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that they shuffle people in and out of the Mario voice acting parts,
Yeah.
and people don't seem to mind, as much.
Or notice really.
Yeah,
Wait, did he say Mario?
yeah. Well, not Mario; it's himself. But we know people. The woman who plays Cortana has played Princess Peach, has played Toad. She played Zoe in Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
I mean, these are major characters in major franchises. I mean, if this was an actress and these were movies we were naming, her name's Jen Taylor. She'd be one of the richest actresses in America.
I don't think she's Princess Peach anymore, though.
Right. She was.
That's what I'm saying. They move people in and out
Yeah.
of those characters on the Mario. And
Well, the guy who
Don't seem to
plays
notice.
Mario is one of the few voice actors who gets recognized as,
Yeah.
oh, you're the voice of Mario. I see him at like E3 and PAX.
Yeah.
I think he was at PAX.
He did a GameStop Manager's appearance one year too. And I think it's like he always has a rep around him for what he can say in the Mario voice and what he can't.
Sure.
I think.
You can't go around asking for mushrooms.
I think that voice actors probably need to make more money for video games, though.
I agree.
I really do. I don't think we need to get to the point where the developers carry the burden of the video game.
Right.
You know, publishers add a lot, distributors add a lot, voice actors add a lot, but the developers, they need to be making the lion's share of the money. And those that I would say that torch needs to be carried first for those guys, because there's a lot of people who put in a lot of hours on these games, and their efforts go unsung, and their voices are unheard, so they need to make a lot more money.
Well, yeah, you've got 100 to 150 people putting 3 years of their lives into a video game, and then a voice actor or voice actress comes in and does 2 days of work.
I guess that's true. Yeah, I mean, you could look at it that way, but a lot of actors do that in movies too. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But at the same sense, there's a lot of money now being made, more money being made. There's
But also, the costs are also escalating as well.
yeah.
I mean, you can talk about animated films too, like what's the not Christmas Story? What's the new one? The Ebenezer Scrooge,
Christmas Carol?
Christmas Carol, yeah.
Christmas Carol. Yeah, I mean that's Jim Carrey, and they're pushing that as a Jim Carrey movie, and it's like, do you think a video game will ever get to that point?
You mean a video game or a video game celebrity?
Well, I mean either way. Like this is say this is the Jim Carrey video game. Like
Oh.
he is the
Yeah,
headliner.
it's already happened. Brutal Legend. How
I don't
often
know.
do you see Brutal Legend mentioned without Jack Black?
Well,
Can you name any promotional material?
The Eddie
that-
Riggs ad is all about just Eddie Riggs the characters, and it doesn't say Jack Black at all.
That's one.
You guys are
You
closer
asked
to
for
it than
any.
I am. I don't see a lot of Jack Black stuff with Brutal
God,
Legend.
I do. Every marketing piece
Yeah.
I've seen has Jack Black in that stupid costume.
Yeah, I feel
I mean,
like
he's been
it's a lot
pushing
of
the
Jack
hell
Black.
out of it, but
Yeah, and even like when I saw Tim Schafer on Jimmy Fallon, the majority of what they talked about was about Jack Black and how they got Jack Black to be in the game, and how they made the game. His whole idea was to make a game that Jack Black would like, and then he showed it to Jack Black, and Jack Black was like, "I want to be in this game," and he was like, "I can't believe this is happening. Jack Black is going to be in the game." I bet if you went back and counted, his Jack Black's name was mentioned 40 times.
oh, in this last couple sentences you said.
Yeah, just yeah, which is a paraphrase of that interview. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but still, Jack Black versus what if Tom Hanks came out and this is like the first Tom Hanks video game? Like he was a starring role in something like Uncharted. Like if they did Uncharted 3 and it was clearly like a recognizable face. Do you think that will happen in the next 2 years?
I'm saying it's already happening. It happened there. It happened with ODST. Nathan Fillion is the main character
But
of ODST.
I think
But you're
Jack,
still
I think,
talking-
I think Jack's taking it a little further. It's like, Tom Hanks presents, or Uncharted 3 starring Tom Hanks,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something where their name is actually on the fucking cover. It's like like part of the title.
Jeff's saying he thinks it's already happened.
I think
just
we're there.
disagreeing.
Well,
I think we're there. You're arguing verbiage on the cover of a game, but I think
Right.
we're already there. I don't think people know. I don't think people know the game Brutal Legend without Jack Black.
I do. I do. But obviously, we just disagree. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I know Brutal Legend because people are talking about it. But I get the point.
I mean, thinking now, arguing against myself, they had Stranglehold, which was John Woo presents Stranglehold.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
That game didn't do too hot, but still, I guess
50 Cent presents Blood on the Sand.
That's true.
well, who's the dude who makes Metal Gear Solid that everybody goes gaga for?
Hideo Kojima.
Kojima.
Yeah, and the dude at Nintendo, Miyamoto.
Miyamoto.
I don't know.
Miyamoto is his brother.
I've always felt that way about the video game industry. I love the products. I don't really associate I just recently became aware of studios that I'm really surprised when I hear younger people talking about video game studios that they know studios apart as opposed to just franchises and consoles. That's all I knew.
is that good or bad?
I think it's good. I think, if people are really into it, it shows that they are researching it, or at least there's a sophistication on the part of the consumer where they can tell things apart.
Well, I mean, it's like Pixar. Everyone knows Pixar is always going to put out quality. You could say
Right.
you could argue Valve is similar like that. Like if a new Valve game comes out, people are going to go, I'll check it out just because it's Valve. Right?
We're not objective though, Jack. I bet I could pull aside people on the street and they wouldn't be able to tell me if Shrek was a Pixar movie or not.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a good comparison. Is people being able to tell movie studios apart.
All right, let me ask you this because we've been exposed to different things. Would you rather? What do you think would be harder? Working on a television show just week to week, working on a movie in the last 2 months before the movie comes out, or working on a video game in the last 3 months before the video game comes out?
Harder?
Video
Probably
game.
the video game.
Video game crunch time is mortifying to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
What goes on in that industry where people are just around the clock, just slamming it and working nonstop. And sometimes we show up often during that process because we come along to do
And they love seeing us.
to do machinima stuff or to do working on an ad campaign or something like that. And it's always yikes. It's just a lot of dark circles under eyes and vacant stares and
Cots in people's cubicles.
yeah, exactly. So it's crazy. So I have to agree with you guys. I would probably least like to work on a video game during crunch time.
It looks like a refugee camp, typically.
It can. Yeah.
It's like, God, what natural disaster are these people running away from?
It's always great to talk to like the conceptual artists too and the writers who have been done essentially. They really don't have much to add at the last minute.
Yeah, they're like writing, we're thinking about the next project.
They're like, this is this is easy.
Oh, I sure hate crunch, right? Ooh, so much work.
There must be a feeling though that they have to be there.
Right.
Yeah, they've got to stay till 6:30 and then go home.
They can get a mannequin and dress it up and make it look like them and put it in their office and sneak out the window.
It's like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You open the door and it waves.
And there's like in the hallway, there's like that hallway in Battlestar Galactica with all the pictures, and it's the people's families that they haven't seen, for 6 weeks, and they just all walk by and touch the wall. I remember them.
Oh, it's so sad. Did you hear about the problems that World of Warcraft is having in China?
They've been having those problems for a while, right?
Yeah, but it's
Not going away.
it's not getting any better. It's like they were talking about how they were going to start up again next month, and nope, trying to shut them down.
Do you know how many subscribers for WoW were from China? It was a lot, right?
It was like over 50% of their subscribers.
I think so, right?
Yeah, it was like 6 million people.
Because WoW has like 11 million subscribers or 11 and a half,
Mm-hmm.
but only 2 or so are from America.
Really?
It's higher than that. I think it's like 3 or 4 million, but still, it's a small percentage of their overall population.
Wow, that's a stat I had no idea about.
Yeah.
And I guess the Chinese government is really, hardlining them, and they may not start back up. They may be gone forever.
I don't know what you're talking about actually. China shut down World of Warcraft?
Right, because Blizzard doesn't run World of Warcraft in China. They have to outsource it to a Chinese company to run it. And this past spring,
Why? Why is that?
it's like some Chinese law.
Jesus Christ, why don't we have laws like that?
So this company was running it. The company was called The Nine, and I guess Blizzard was unhappy with their performance, so they terminated their contract and awarded the contract to another company called NetEase. Chinese government had to approve it. They delayed. It took a long time. They finally started looking like they were going to approve it, and then they decided they weren't going to approve it, and now it looks like it's just not going to happen.
Wow.
The Chinese government has said that they have committed, quote, gross violations of Chinese law, and that they need to stop charging players for the game and stop accepting new registrations, and that's it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really interesting. I bet the Nine's performance is looking pretty okay to them at this point.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I think the Nine is going to launch a competing MMO now.
Really?
Yeah, I think I saw that. I'll have to double check that. I don't know that for certain, but I'm pretty sure that's true.
I bet it's going to be exactly the same with like 10% different assets.
You think so?
I would bet.
As it stands, World of Warcraft is already modified for the Chinese government to be playable in China. Like all the skeletons, like the undead, for example, undead cannot have bones showing. So like all the undead characters have to have, like, how sometimes like they had bones showing like on their elbows and parts of their arms.
Sure.
In the Chinese version, it's all covered with skin.
Interesting.
And there's a bunch of weird little differences like that in the game. Well, there were before the game got shut down. Anyway.
So are we talking about World of Warcraft now?
Yeah.
Hey, so the guild's doing good. I started up a guild.
Cool.
We are the Drunk Tanks.
Are you-
Because that's
No, it's
a
funny.
joke.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's playing the name.
Yeah, play the name.
I see what you did there.
But
It's
yeah,
interesting. No Drunk Tank members are in your guild, though.
do I count?
Every now and then you count.
Sure, you can count.
I'm a partial member, but no, it's going really well. I have like 2 or 3 people message me every time I get on to join. We're probably up to about 60 members now or so, and it's fun and like it's kind of cool because you can jump in anytime, and it's a group of people that are all into Red versus Blue, Rooster Teeth, Achievement Hunter, and Drunk Tank stuff. So it's like you have a common interest already.
It's cool. You're on Dawnbringer, right?
Yeah, we're on Dawnbringer, which apparently everyone has told me, everyone who joins in who's been playing for a while says it's a horrible, horrible server. And I immediately tell them it was your fault.
They say that about-
Everyone says that about every server.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all I know.
I don't even play, and I just seem to remember that.
They're all fucking identical. Trust me. I mean, that's not true. They're not all identical, but the server's fine.
You know what would get me to go back and play WoW? I would like to join a server, start a new character, level 1, and if the character dies, he's dead. I think that would be
like a hardcore mode.
I think that would be an awesome experience.
Realism mode.
Yeah, it would make it really. You would go out in packs to do stuff.
That's true.
It would make it a really interesting experience.
God, man, people would fucking kill themselves.
They would kill themselves, and if you got
my
ganked,
God.
you would be like, "I'm gonna find you,
It would
you
be
motherfucker."
It would be every day. It'd be like thousands of "You stole my cloud song."
Yeah.
But you got to think of the different dynamic too. Like you could put prices on people's heads.
Oh, wow.
Like this guy has killed 8 people. We have got to kill this guy. We've got to find him and kill him.
You know, a South Park episode.
It's interesting. I did something kind of like
I mean,
that.
in the game, not in reality, by the way.
I did something kind of like that in Dungeons and Dragons last night, where I got myself into some trouble and I was going to die. All I had to do was call out for help, and I didn't. I was like, I'm going to see if the DM will kill me. And I didn't call out for help, and sure enough, he didn't let me die.
Really?
A cheap character showed up at the last minute to waltz in and save my life. I was prepared to go.
So what's
Just
the
to see
point?
if he... Yeah, I was kind of disillusioned. I was kind of sad.
You should have called him on it.
So in D&D,
I
if you're-
made fun of it.
If
but-
your character dies in D&D, that's it, right?
Oh, you're fucking dead, dude.
You can be resurrected.
I had -2 health, and I was bleeding out, and they...
-2 health.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that like pre-dead?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
you
pretty
die at -10. At 0, you go unconscious, and you slowly every round you lose 1
I was bleeding out,
hit point until you get to -10.
and they swooped in the nick of time and saved me.
So is your character going to start just like jumping off cliffs and things like that? Just fuck it.
Sticking forks in electrical sockets.
Gus, would you play that?
We'll see.
Would you do that where if you had a wild character and it died,
Man.
and you lost all your gear and everything,
Probably not. No, I don't think I would.
and you could loot the body of the person, the dead person?
No, I don't think I'd do that. I played some muds like that, like way back in the day.
You wouldn't be curious?
I played muds like that back in the day. I'm done with that. I don't want to do that anymore.
I think it would be a group of people would just become the ultimate assholes. Like
They would.
and it would just be like that group of 20 people who just look around and murder people.
Well,
And
they
that
They
be
would
it.
get killed,
They'd be bullies. That's
Yeah.
it.
and they would
that's-
get killed. So people would set out to kill those people.
Again, then the group of 25 people would kill them.
And
And the
it'd be
group of 30 people would kill them. And escalating arms
But
race.
there'd be so much collateral damage in that though, where like if you're a new character, you're like level 5 or something like that. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh hey, look at that, let's kill him.
What you would have is you'd have a bunch of low-level characters taking pot shots at each other constantly.
Yeah. It'd
You
be
know.
anarchy.
Or you could. I wonder if you could, like, if there was like one powerful character. I don't know. Like, let's just say terrorizing the low-level area. Like, let's say like a level 50 character came and was doing that. Like, if everyone's like, let's kill him. Everyone just roll level 1 characters and keep re-rolling level 1 characters and just swarm him. And it's like he gets overwhelmed with like hundreds of level 1 characters attacking him.
Yeah, that's like
And then, like,
dealing
as
with
soon as they
zombies.
die, they're like, yeah, they're just like re-roll new one and just fucking keep going.
It's like
And
that,
sometimes-
like that episode of Seinfeld where all the kids hung out after the karate class and beat up Kramer.
Oh yeah, that's right. Just like that.
Yeah, you gotta work with numbers if that's what
It's
you
true.
have. It'd be hard to level up to 60 though. I mean, you'd have to go.
Fuck, dude. Or
you
to
know,
80.
You'd start with a new server. There'd
Nope.
all be level 1s on it. That's it. No transfers.
No
to
one
it.
would want to raid. No one would want to do anything. It would be fucking hiding and crying.
Be a bunch of people hanging out in the inn at Brill.
I would play. I would play that for sure. Just for the fun
they'd
of
be
it.
in Brill. They wouldn't even make it to fucking Undercity.
Sepulture's far too dangerous.
But you have to think about it too. If you saw like a level 30 character, you'd be like, "How the hell did you get to level 30?"
Yoink.
Yeah, without dying.
You'd be wondering that as he's murdering you.
Stab. You know, he would be like there would be like these hero guys. You know,
Yeah.
when, a couple level 80s go at it, and one of them dies, and oh shit.
and then the other one's even more powerful.
See you in 6 months, loser.
It's like fucking Highlander.
Hey, speaking of RPGs, how do you like Dragon Age, Gus? You've been playing it.
It's all right. It's good. I've been really enjoying it. I think I'm like 4 or 5 hours in.
How does it compare to KOTOR?
It's been so long since I played Knights of the Old Republic. I can't say. I think I like Knights of the Old Republic more just because of the the universe and
Sure.
the backstory. And
Did
stuff.
you play Jade Empire at all?
No, I didn't.
How does it compare to Mass Effect? How about that?
I think I like this more than Mass Effect. I'm not sure 100% yet.
Very similar, though, right?
Yeah, like branching
mechanics,
branching
I mean.
text trees and things like that.
Yeah.
The party system's pretty good. I don't remember how you did your party management in Mass Effect. Like, could you control your party members?
Yeah, you could jump around, I think.
You could.
Yeah,
Okay, I
you could
think
jump, turn around as. Yeah, you can
Okay.
play as them.
Yeah, that's one of the big things that I just forgot. It took me a while to forget in Dragon Age was possessing your other characters and having them do stuff.
Is it all slotted equipment and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty standard.
Yeah, sure.
And I've seen the commercial for Dragon's Age all over the place. Have you seen that one, the fully rendered one?
Yeah.
I've seen on pretty much everything I watch. So if they're targeting my demographic, they're doing a very good job of it.
I would guess they probably are targeting your demographic.
You,
Imagine that.
You seemed like you were enjoying it yesterday. You got into a dwarf
I had a
three-way.
I have a dwarven three-way like immediately. It was pretty awesome.
Pretty jazzed about that.
What are you talking about?
Dragon Age.
You have sex in the game?
Well, they don't show it, but
I just got a blowjob in Gay Tony.
I don't
It's
know.
fucking awesome.
I don't. Yeah, this is weird. I mean, I can understand. I'm not saying you shouldn't put it in there. It's just like, why would who
It
cares?
is weird,
Who
right?
cares?
Yeah.
That's in Fable 2. I've been playing Fable 2 lately.
Yeah,
And
Fable 2's.
They have there's a lot of sex. Like you can have unprotected sex or protected sex.
Man, Fable 2 is a fun game, but those fucking achievements are chintzy, dude.
Hey, there's something weird about Fable 2 that I want to talk to you about.
What's that?
I wish I had a demonstration here, but I'll show it to you later. I am playing Fable 2 not off the disc, but off the downloaded version, where you download episode 1. Mm-hmm. You should go to Marketplace, okay? How many episodes of that are there?
5.
There are 5. You are correct. Go to Marketplace on the 360, or go to Marketplace on Xbox.com. See if you can download episodes 2 through 5.
Really?
The answer is you cannot. You can only download episode number 1, and it's about a 2 gig download.
Because that's the only one that's out so far?
Nope.
Do you have
The
to
way it
beat
works,
one?
it prompts you in the game to download it. 2, when you get to the end of 1, or when you get your first achievement, because 1 is free, and 2 is the paid version, so that's when you start unlocking achievements.
So, when you get your first achievement, it just automatically says, hey, you should pay for this.
It says, yes, you got an achievement. If you unlock the game, you'll get it. So what would be your reaction to that?
I would unlock the game.
So you hit X to unlock the game to get it?
Yeah.
4 gig download.
What?
So in the middle of playing, then you're sitting there waiting for a 4 gig download.
So you get an achievement or get far enough into the story that they're like, hey, you should play more eventually.
A 4 gig download.
fuck
So
that.
when you see the 4 gig download, what would be your reaction?
I'm going to start the download and then go do something else.
Mine was to quit, and I'm just going to keep playing, and I'll re-get that achievement. So it was so easy anyway.
Sure.
Or maybe I'll test to see if it unlocks it later when I do get the content. You cannot prompt the game to download the content. The only way that you can get the episode 2 file is to get to an event in the game that has you do it. Now, you know how I play. I have other Xboxes in my house. I have Xboxes at work. I tried to load my episode 2 character on a new download of episode 1. I couldn't load it. It said, it's not valid. You need to get episode 2. And there's no way to get it. I had to start a new character, get to a point where I could get an achievement.
So you could download 2 and then play with your 2 characters.
I showed this to Gus. I looked everywhere.
I don't know enough about Fable 2, but this seems wrong to me. It seems like this is impossible. This can't be right.
This is fucking horrible.
I am Mr. Paying Customer. I'm ready to buy the next episode, and I cannot find the menu to download episode 2. And I gotta say, Marketplace, I don't know if it's the way they designed it or what, but now a game like Fable has 32 items in its list, in its little folder in Marketplace.
Yeah.
And you gotta scroll through stuff, and you see, oh, here's episode 2. Oh, wait, no, that's episode 2 of the video library. Okay, let me go to this. Oh, here's episode 2. Oh, no, wait, that's episode 2 of the trailer for the DLC. So it's like, it's so confusing.
Yeah.
And episode 2 through 5 of the downloadable version of the game does not exist, as far as I can tell, in any possible format for you to download.
I refuse to believe that. I mean, I know you're telling me, and you went through it, but that just doesn't seem like it's possible.
That's actually kind of depressing. Like, I'm actually sad about that.
It's a flaw in the system for sure.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that's a big flaw.
That's what I call a big miss.
Man, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Can you just buy the full game on Games on Demand?
No. Nope. It's the episodic version, and that's it. Otherwise, I would have just done that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and downloaded it. I mean, I don't want to interrupt the game for 4 gig downloads.
So how do you, like, at what point, you've been playing Fable 2 a lot. I've noticed you've got about 330 achievement points in it.
A great game, by the way.
Yeah, it is a great game. It's a fun game. It's a fun game. It's a fun game to play with somebody else. You know, like Griffin and I play together at night. It's just like...
It's not stingy about giving achievements to the co-op player.
Nope, not at all.
The
Not at all.
player 2.
Oh, that's cool.
But at what point do you get to episode 3? And when you get to episode 3, do you pay for it and automatically unlock because you've already downloaded 6 gigs at that point?
It does that weird Marketplace thing where it says, hey, you're at episode 3. It's going to give you 800 points to unlock episode 3. And you say, okay, well, I've already been through this once. Let me try it. You hit X to download, and it comes up, this is a 4.3 gig download. You're like, motherfucker. But then when you hit it, it's that Marketplace thing where it's a 4.3 gig download, but it just instantaneously unlocks.
It's already downloaded, yeah.
So it's like re-downloading in a sense.
At what point, do you remember what point you, just out of curiosity, at what point you unlock episode 3? Because 2 is like at a first
It's
achievement.
the docks at...
the docks to go to Bloodstone or whatever?
to go to Spire.
Spire,
To
yeah.
Spire. When you have Hammer and you're getting on the boat to go to the docks.
Okay, so when you're going for the hammer of... Or the...
I don't know. I haven't unlocked it yet, so
It's not the strength.
it's
but-
right after you finish the Crucible.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
it Westfield?
Yeah.
that right? Yeah.
Westfield's at the Crucible.
When you go to leave Westfield via the docks, that's it.
Okay.
I have no idea either, Jack.
I'm lost.
I'm at that point in the game, and I've been at that point in the game for about 10 hours because they're like, don't get on that boat unless you're ready to get on the boat.
That is the point. I'm also not getting on the boat because I don't understand that either.
Yeah, so I'm doing like every other achievement in the game I can before I get on the boat. So I
Yeah.
don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know either. Yeah.
You know what achievement I did last night? Or not last night, but the other night's a pain in the ass. That
What's that?
gambler one where you have to make $500.
Those gambling games are cool, though.
They are pretty cool. They're pretty fun. I did it on the second one, the one in not Westfall.
Well, just describe it for people who
It's
aren't...
the one with the cards where they throw a card down and then they put two cards on top of it
I don't
and
know
they
that one.
can't. You don't know that one? And it's like a reverse. It's like a pyramid, and each time, if like say if you get a 6 on this row and then a 6 on this next row and they touch, you lose.
I'm always
and it's-
impressed with the card games that people can come up with after all this time. I mean,
Yeah.
cards are an old technology, in terms of gaming, and it's amazing that people who make video games they've made like 5 or 6 unique, original, fun games to play in the casinos there.
Yeah.
They're not casinos; they're little gambling.
I think there's
masters.
4.
That sounds cool.
4 different ones in Fable, and they're all cool games. That first one, the betting one, it's kind of like I don't know,
Archstone.
Archstone.
Yeah.
is awesome. You get lost in that game.
Are these the ones that they had available for download? Like
The
download
pub
before?
games?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't own pub games, but I think so.
You're going to have to. There's a little bit of a controversy in that you have to have pub games to get all 1,000 points.
How so?
There's a dog trick that's only available through pub games, and you have to have all the dog tricks in order
What's-
to unlock all the things.
Oh,
it's
really?
the backflip.
Motherfucker.
But then I heard they in reaction to that, they made it easily obtainable in DLC. But either way, you can't get the full 1,000 points just by
Without-
having the retail game.
Oh, that's bullshit.
How
I
does
was-
Microsoft approve that?
I was
It's a Microsoft first party game. They can violate their own rules if they want to.
Bullshit.
It's all experiments.
I was going to buy the pub games and all the DLC anyway. So
Yeah,
but yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it still sucks.
That sucks. For sure.
But I gotta say that Fable 2 is a really great game. It's a fun 360 game, and like I said, they don't punish the co-op player.
But I agree with you 100%. However, that game leaves no impression on me. Like I will sit down and play it because it's something that Griffin and I can do together, and it's a game that we can play co-op. But I don't leave thinking I got to get back into Fable 2 and play, or I can't wait to see what happens.
It's a lot of
like-
collecting and a lot of grinding stuff.
It is, and they present it in a fun way. But they're just like I'm not like engrossed in that story in any way at all.
Yeah, in co-op, you don't want to watch somebody work their job as a blacksmith for an hour.
Did you do the level 5 blacksmith or whatever?
I
That
have.
took fucking ever.
It's cool. It's a little mini game though, a little job mini game.
I got an achievement yesterday in Fairy Tale Fights, which I've been playing now. There's an achievement for staying in basically the menu world for 15 minutes.
That
And
seems like those kinds of achievements are becoming more popular.
The menu world.
Well, like basically, there's a little you walk around, like you can select your character here. You walk over to a different place. You do your options here. You walk over to a different place. Start your quest here. But there's no fighting, there's nothing going on in there other than the options, and you have to stand there for 15 minutes.
Sounds like a punishment.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
that.
There was
like,
one in Guitar Hero 2. There was an achievement for watching the credits.
Yeah.
and that was like a 10 or 15 minute credit sequence.
Yeah.
There's a
it
lot of
reminds me of
those.
the Secret of Monkey Island one where we have to be underwater for 10 minutes. And
yeah.
There was one in Saw called "You Wasted Your Life" where you have to be idle just standing there for 5 minutes. That's stupid. I hate those.
I'm not a
achievements.
big fan of that.
Achievements are a weird thing too because when they first started, they kind of seemed like something you would discover on your own. Mm-hmm. And I thought part of the community process would be trying to figure out what the achievements were, and they're not that at all anymore. Now they're released with all the other information before a game comes out. It's like part of the press of what the achievements are going to be.
And those achievements, like the one you just talked about, the stay in the menu world for 15 minutes, they break achievements for me because to me the idea of an achievement is to present the game in a way that you wouldn't have necessarily thought to play it and to add replay value to the game. And that's taking you away from playing the game.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
And to me, they're a way to make single player competitive. Is
Right.
what I like about
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
You can show that. Look, I did this. I finished ODST on Legendary. You know.
Yeah, to this day, my Geometry Wars 200 of 200 points is like one of my proudest things I've done on an Xbox.
Sure.
Because if you know anything about Geometry Wars, you know if someone has 200 of 200, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, and it's a nice summary too that you can say that. And I know what that means.
You know, speaking of Xbox arcade games, Jack, you mentioned this the other day, but apparently this weekend you can get Xbox 360 super cheap, right?
Yeah. Actually, I just made a post on Achievement Hunter. Walmart's doing a deal on Saturday. You can buy an Xbox arcade unit for $200, and it comes with a $100 gift card.
Wow.
So
you can-
essentially, you're buying an arcade for $100.
A Walmart gift card or an online gift card?
I don't know.
You can use that gift card to buy a memory card because you're going to need one.
Buy
believe-
a fucking hard drive.
No, I
Yeah.
believe the arcade comes with a memory card.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it does. It
Yeah, it
does.
Oh,
does.
awesome.
I mean, that's the only storage it has.
So I guess it's got to have some storage, right?
It's essentially Microsoft's gateway to the marketplace.
What do you do with like NXC and stuff? How does that? Does
It
have
has it has some internal memory. It's not much,
Enough
but like
to
it
install
has like
system
500
updates.
megs in
Okay.
internal memory for updates.
It's a Walmart gift card. It looks like, according to Walmart.com.
That's pretty cool.
Can you apply that gift card to the purchase of the Xbox?
No,
I don't think
probably
so.
not. Mr. Loophole.
Walmart.com lists it as out of stock, so hopefully you can find it in stores.
Yeah.
That's really
Well,
interesting.
no, it's only available Saturday. It's like the ad that's
okay.
going out. It's like Saturday from like 8 a.m. is when they kick it off or whatever.
Still, dude, that's a pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah,
deal.
dude, $100 for 360. That's great.
Yeah,
That's
we
a great
should, we
deal.
should go trample some people for that.
Oh man, I don't want to see those videos. Those are always the worst.
Yeah, they're coming soon.
God, last year, I mean, those people die for no reason.
Yeah. Well, like, didn't like a pregnant woman get trampled?
God.
People get knocked down. They're just charging into Walmart. I don't understand it. Why show up that day? Why do people go crazy for tax-free days too? In Texas, we have a day before
weekend.
school starts, a weekend where it's tax-free weekend, where you don't pay sales tax. Sales tax in Texas is 8.25%. If they had an 8.25% off sale, nobody would show up.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's tax-free day, everybody in the world clogs every street in Austin.
I make sure I'm ready for that weekend, so I don't have to leave my house at all that entire weekend.
Yeah, it's like there's a series of events in Austin that local Austinites have to shutter themselves in for. South by Southwest, ACL, Tax Free, the Biker Rally. We just can't leave our house.
Texas Relays.
Texas Relay is a big one, yeah. That's around my house because I'm right by the stadium and everything.
Oh, yeah.
You can't go
I was
anywhere.
going to say
that
Texas
weekend.
Relays had never bothered me in the past, but I guess I live right by the stadium.
They will now, dude. You won't be able to go anywhere.
Football games can be pretty bad also
Yeah.
in our neighborhood.
Man, I just imagine probably the worst thing ever is if you live in New Orleans and Mardi Gras shows up once a year, or if you
Oh,
live in
man.
like Daytona Beach,
Yeah.
and spring break. That's all in March that you have to deal with.
God,
all
that does
stuff.
sound fucking terrible. You're right. You're right. Some people do have it much worse.
Yeah, we have a bad week here and there. Like,
Yeah, and it's not like
But
major.
they get a bad
stuff.
If
season.
you're in fucking Daytona Beach, though, you're staring at girls in bikinis for a month.
Or dudes.
Maybe, yeah, or just you're hearing lots of packs of dudes going. Woo.
Looking to get in a fight with anybody who'll make eye contact with them.
While we're speaking about mainstream Walmart America, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Why do they continue to build fast food restaurants that have 2 drive-through windows? Has anyone ever seen the first drive-through window being used at any point in time?
Never.
What is the economical zenith that has to happen in order for them to open up that first
No,
window?
I see it happen all the time. The Wendy's by our house, they always use both.
There's
both
a Wendy's
windows.
by our house?
In the Hancock Center.
Or by Club HEB.
Club
There-
HEB.
There's a Wendy's over there?
That's right behind the
it's
Sears.
right on the feeder road of 35.
Oh, I would never. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't.
They use both windows.
It's by the Sears. You're right. Okay.
Actually, the In-N-Outs out in Los Angeles, they usually have 2 windows, but it's on either side of
Yeah,
the building.
dude, they have a guy
they-
standing outside with a fucking
but they also
credit card machine.
but they also have like the drive-up things too. If that guy's not there,
Yeah, I think lots of places use both windows.
In-N-Out is a burger franchise that's in California. It's mainly on the West Coast, but mainly California, Nevada, over there. And I've never been there when there wasn't an enormous line. I mean, enormous where there's cars wrapped around the building, and there's a guy standing in the parking lot taking your order.
We Jeff and I helped cause a line this past year at Comic-Con. we went through the drive-thru and ordered like 15 hamburgers.
You know, the funny thing about that trip is that In-N-Out was right next to a Carl's Jr. I don't know if you remember this.
No, it was a Del
Oh,
Taco.
Del
wasn't
Taco.
it?
Oh, you're right, a Del Taco. And we had our lady with the little machine who was taking our order outside, and she had like a little awning and stuff that she was standing under, and there was this huge line of cars. And then we went forward about a few feet, and we saw the Del Taco, and there was the dude at Del Taco outside with the punching machine under his awning was fucking just like dead.
It was deader than
Totally dead. He
The
was
Del
just-
Taco could have been closed.
He looked like the most bored dude in the planet, and his job is to stand there and watch In-N-Out be successful.
And it sounds like, well, that guy just gets to hang out and sit in the shade while the other guy's working his ass off. If you've ever worked a job like that, you know it's always better to be busier than it is to be slow.
especially it's slow, and he has to stand in a parking lot, with inhaling car exhaust all day.
It's just, man, when
Yeah,
you're
time
sitting,
stops.
Yeah, time does stop when you're watching the clock, and it's just like, oh my god.
yeah.
I used to work at a grocery store. It was the same deal. If there was no lines, it would just be boring as hell. But when it was busy, burn right through.
It's like when we worked tech support. It was like, yeah, you complained when there was a long queue and constantly on the phone, but at least your shift was over fast.
It was over real fast.
You weren't just sitting there like just staring at the wall.
We have been very fortunate, and thank you to all of our fans for this, in that when we go to conventions, they're we stay very busy. There's always people to talk to. We don't often sit at the booth waiting for someone to come up and say hello. When I worked at the tech support company, I would go do convention sales, and there would be 8 hours where you'd just be standing in a booth, and you might see in the convention hall 6 people.
That's so sad.
That's rough.
It was hard, dude.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, you just be like, you have a lot of philosophical debate with yourself over what you're doing with your life when you're just standing there.
Well, I saw some of those at PAX. Those booths that God knows how much they paid for those booths, and they have like a poster and then someone behind a table with a book. And it's like,
Yep.
oh man.
Gus and I went to Austin GDC a while back. When was that? It was in September.
Yeah.
And that's all Austin GDC was a bunch of those like prefabbed booths that you would see like at the internet conference with people in like button-up blue jean shirts with an embroidered logo of some game company, just standing there looking like they'd rather be doing anything else in the world.
We're like, please, someone come talk to
Please,
us.
I want to talk to you about our engine or our microtransaction processor.
We can process credit card payments on the iPhone. Let me show you.
Please, God, let me show you.
Gus and I actually went to a convention for a friend who was starting a convention. Do you remember this, Gus? How can you forget? We went to one in Florida. It was the first year they had the convention. And we had a feeling it was weird and sketchy, so only Gus and I went. And the guy, for whatever reason, didn't do any promotion for it. And there was a bunch of people there that we see at other conventions. And most of them packed up and left the first day. But we knew the guy, so we felt obligated to hang out for a day or two extra.
Because Florida's always been really good to us at conventions.
I think, Gus, what would you say was the total attendance of this guy's con?
Maybe 1,000.
He's being nice.
It was so slow. We had time to leave the convention, go buy a TV and an Xbox and Halo 3 and play Halo 3 in the
because
booth.
Halo 3 had just come out, and so we went and played Halo 3 all weekend in our booth.
Wow.
It was fucking brutal.
It was pretty.
And it reminded me of the days before when I'd go to cons where it was a professional convention, for the telecom of the Southwest or something like that, and there would be 50 people there, and there'd be 1,000 vendors showing stuff.
That's the convention where I took that picture that's in my image gallery where we hooked up the Xbox to run through the hotel internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hooked it up into my laptop to get the internet.
And it was a thing too where it was like we had other like sci-fi writers and stuff who were nearby us, and like the former sci-fi actresses with their headshots from 30 years ago and stuff. They were coming up, and I remember they were giving us grief about playing Halo in our booth. It's like, what? Fuck you! It's like, what do we just sit here and stare at the fucking wall to make you happy?
Yeah, that was stupid.
And the guy, man, every time that convention organizer would come around, everyone was like, "Get the fuck away!"
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
I hate to even think about how much money that guy lost.
Yeah,
that's really
sad.
Really sucks.
Speaking of losing money, this is a story that you might get a kick out of, Bernie. I don't know if you heard this, but I guess that there's this Dutch hacker who has started hacking people's jailbroken iPhones in the Netherlands, and he hacks their phone, then locks them out of their phone, and sends them a text message saying, "Your iPhone's been hacked because it's really insecure. Please visit this URL to secure your iPhone." And you have to send him €5, and then he sends you instructions on how to get your phone back.
That's digital extortion. I love it.
That's funny.
It's like, please pay me for protection, and I'll secure your phone.
Yep.
And you can't take it to the Apple Store because it's a hacked iPhone.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah, when
nothing you can do about it because it's fucking jailbroken and insecure.
Reap what you sow.
That's pretty aggressive for a Dutch dude, I gotta say.
Yeah. So it's I thought that was really fucking funny. And yeah, you're totally locked out of your phone. And I think he also says, like, I can see everything on your phone right now.
Nice. Wow.
You said this is in the Netherlands?
Yeah. Because I guess when you jailbreak it, by default, it enables you to SSH into your phone. And most people don't know that. And most people don't know enough to change the root password on your SSH tunnel. So he SSHs into everyone's phone as root and then fucks with them and locks them out.
Not that sophisticated a hack at all, really.
No.
I mean,
It's just people are jailbreaking because it's like we always talk about, like the hacking by Google. It's like, oh, follow these instructions.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing,
Well,
but
I know how to get to Hasta La Vista, so I'm a hacker.
Yeah.
You want to be a hacker right now? Try to connect to 192.168.1.1 and use the password admin. You'll probably get in there too.
Yep.
Everyone who's had a Linksys router and never changed their thing.
Gus, you just exposed a major security flaw in our company.
Ours is admin 1.
yeah, ours is NIMDA.
Ours is Linksys.
Asdiff.
But I mean, you talk about people not understanding it. I just read this weekend that someone is filing a class action lawsuit because they found out their neighbor can pick up their baby monitor and monitor the inside of their house when they use the same brand of baby monitor, wireless baby monitor. Duh.
That's stupid.
I mean, right?
People are fucking stupid.
How do you not know that? It's a walkie-talkie that's always on. That's all it is.
Yep.
We used to pick up the Burger King drive-thru on my dad's police scanner. That was fun.
Yeah, and then back in the day, I used to have like a VHF, UHF TV, and I could hear everyone's cordless phones on my UHF channels. I mean, not a big deal. It happens.
Yeah,
cordless phones use a different frequency now, but back then that's when you had the huge ones with the antenna you had to pull out.
There's a lot of trust.
Speaking of, this is a little different, but it's very funny. I don't know if we've ever talked about this on the podcast, but when you lived in that apartment complex over off Riverside back in the day, his phone line was somehow crossed with his neighbor's phone line, and his neighbor was a drug dealer. And you would sometimes pick up Gus's phone. We would do it all the time, and you could just listen in to the guy making drug deals and be like, yeah, come over, buy half an ounce. All right, yeah, no problem. It's $120. All right, cool. Yeah, just leave the money on the potter in the front yard. All right, cool. Click. And you would pick it up to order pizza, and you'd just be in the middle of a drug deal.
You'd constantly be hearing drug deals. Like, all right,
dude was a busy drug dealer.
It was I think they're a defunct CLEC now, but it was Waller Communications.
Mm-hmm. I know Waller. Yeah,
they must have hired a bad subcontractor to wire their phone lines in that building. Cause
it was awesome.
You could hear everything.
By the way, did you see how excited I got about a CLEC?
Throw out some telco terms and Bernie perks up.
Yeah, when I lived on Riverside, where you're talking about, I took my cordless phone, not my cell phone. I took my cordless phone down to the laundry room and then left it there because I was gathering laundry. I was talking to somebody on my way down there, and then left it there. And some guy picked it up, and we started getting calls placed to Mexico on the phone. But it became this adventure of we'd look at the base station, and when the light would turn on, we knew the guy was somewhere within about 300 feet. And we'd pick up and yell at him, and then we'd run out and try to find him. We'd make this spiral around the apartment complex, and we never found the dude.
That's funny. Oh, my God. God, that's fucking funny.
So I can relate to that story in a way.
What would you have done if you found him?
I would have given
you
him a
gotten
stern
stabbed?
talking to.
You would have gotten shot.
He would have bought his phone back for $25.
I'll tell you exactly what I would have done. I would have done something, I don't know what, and then I would have made myself seem cooler later when I told it to other people. That's exactly what I would have done.
Oh, man.
Like, I learned Spanish on the way down on the stairs and yelled at the guy and got my phone back. And he apologized to me. As opposed to me going, there he is. Hey, don't do that.
Get him.
Excuse me, sir.
I think our eventual strategy was the battery ran out of juice. Like, eventually,
he couldn't charge it.
And he couldn't charge it. So maybe we could put a note up on our door saying we'll charge you X amount of dollars just to charge the phone.
Hey, so has anyone else seen these new Ultra HD specs that are getting finalized?
No, you were talking about it this morning
already.
Yeah, so apparently, I guess they want to have everything standardized so they can start having Ultra HD out by 2017.
Ultra HD. We made a joke about that on our season 4 DVD.
Well, it's reality.
You could
what's the
watch
resolution?
There's going to be 2 resolution levels.
Oh, God damn it.
Well, it's just like 720 and 1080.
Why 2, though? Why? Why do we need 2 resolutions?
There's the Walmart one. And
They're going to roll it out in
one.
phases. The lower resolution is going to come out in 2017 and the higher resolution in 2022. Anyway, the resolutions are 4K for the low end, 8K for the high end.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus.
Wait. And it comes with a 22.2 multi-channel 3-dimensional sound.
What? 22? Multi-dimensional. Does it really go to other dimensions?
No, multi-channel 3-dimensional.
Multi-channel 3-dimensional.
22.2.
So that's 2 subs and 22 speakers.
Yes.
Jesus
I have no idea
Christ.
what you do with that many speakers. Even with that many subs.
What do you need? I mean, what do you need more than 5 for?
8K resolution is 7680 by 4320. There's a little graphic here. I'll show you guys. I'll have to link dump it. That shows, like, this blue here is the big resolution, and that purple right there is what the red can shoot in.
Oh my God!
I can show a diagram. Now, when you got to think about this in terms of like square footage instead of linear. So when you say like 1K to 2K is about 4 times the size that 1K is. 1K is typically 1080 resolution. It's right around there, but that's usually what's referred to as 1K. 2K is typically what they show in a movie theater, in a cinema. And now we're just now getting our red shoots in 4K, and they're just now getting projectors that can project in 4K in the movie theater. Yeah. I don't know that you can tell the difference in a movie theater between 2K and 4K.
I can't.
4K is 4520 by 2540.
8K is going to put every single broadcaster out of job. You cannot. It'd be like looking at someone from an inch away while they talk to you.
Yeah.
It's going to be disgusting.
It's gonna be gross.
It's gonna make for some great porn.
Yeah, it's gonna kill porn.
Well, I think by that point we'll have
said about high def, though.
artificial announcers anyway.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, people aren't going to want to look at other people. We're just going to want to look at computer animated versions of people.
Or cartoons or something. Well, it's just like Japan.
Yeah. Or they'll be photorealistic, but you know, they'll be flawless.
We'll have the pod racer announcers from episode 1.
Greg Proops is going to do all the news.
I'd rather have the two cranky old men from the Muppet Show in the balcony.
I really wouldn't be surprised if like you had like within the next 5-6 years if you had like a Katie Couric where it's her reading the news, but it's all done with like facial real time mocap, and it's on a model of Katie Couric that
like
looks
fucking
perfect.
Max Headroom.
I was going to take it a step further and say, yeah, that's what I had in mind also. But it's going to be hopefully so that you can select the model you're looking at.
Yeah,
like
I guess
there's some kind of feedback where like that information is stored, you know, as metadata.
Do you really think that's
And
going to
then
happen?
you can select you can reskin the news to however you want.
Do you honestly think that's going to happen?
Yeah, why wouldn't it?
We're going to get our news from CGI characters.
I could see that. I could definitely see entertainment. I could see replacing actors with people, with the CG people. Absolutely.
News would be much easier.
Well, but news. I mean, why not just read it? You know, if it's going to get to that point, I mean, if you're not getting it from a human, like
why not read it now?
No. We talked about Walter Cronkite. The whole thing about news is you have to trust the person delivering you the news to you. And why would you trust an animated character?
I agree with Jack.
I don't think they'll tell you. You're assuming it's going to be an animated character. I'm saying it'll just look like a flawless human being.
Mm-hmm. Which would be an animated character.
But you won't. He's saying you might not know it's animated.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not like... Do you think they could sneak that on the air?
I think about 10 years, yeah, I think they could sneak that on the air. And I think it'd be real time. Like, I think they could have a camera in the back room on Katie Couric in her pajamas with a couple dots on her face. They probably wouldn't even need that. And she'll be reading the news with real emotion, and it'll be translated as perfect model.
Is it worth all the effort to go to that as opposed to just filming someone?
You can fire makeup people. You can fire, your set designer because it's all, I mean, you can take your studio's done enough lighting.
Yeah, you don't need the studio.
Well, I mean, see, that's more likely to me. I would see a green screen studio before replacing a person.
Well, we already have that.
It's baby steps.
Yeah. Especially then if it's a lot easier to take that 3D person and stick them in a 3D presentation, like a hologram. You don't have to have a real studio. You have a fake person anyway.
It'll be like the progression from regular content, like scripted content, to reality TV to fucking animated reality TV.
Why do you swear when you say it?
Like, because I swear about everything. Like, someday we'll have Big Brother with like Elvis and Hitler and Gandhi.
There was a show on Comedy
animated.
Central about that, right?
Is there?
It's some cartoon show. It's
Drawn Together or whatever.
Yeah.
No, it's different.
If I have a little Katie Couric on my countertop while making breakfast, walking around. By the way, I don't have a Katie Couric fetish. She's an example that I came up with, and I'm sticking with it. And she's walking around on my countertop delivering me the news while I'm making, space eggs or whatever I'm doing. I mean, what difference? I mean, she can't be in a real studio. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna have to be in a mocap studio anyway. It's like, why not? For this 8K resolution. You're not going to want to look at Katie Couric in 8K.
So you're
especially
like,
in 10 years. I mean, she's cute, but she's not going to hold up.
She's America's sweetheart.
So it's like the Katie Couric Cortana, basically. Like
It'll be like
chip.
how Michael Steele walks out on the Republican website.
I think
that's the best ever.
I will say this. I think the spec is total bullshit because how can you spec out a 2D flat display for 2017? We're not going to have those. We're not going to be interested in those anymore.
We'll see. Got to spec it out anyway.
You're going to have 3D on your desktop with your computer probably in the next 5-6 years.
I hope not.
It'll happen, and when it happens, it's going to happen fast.
It'll happen fast.
I hope I can get
really
eye
fast.
surgery to implant the 3D glasses directly into my corneas.
It's going to be like Minority Report with the multiple screens and stuff. We're getting close to that now with Natal.
We're getting close to a lot of stuff in Minority Report.
Yeah, Natal. That's
Well, I mean, like you're talking about like running an Xbox just using your hands. That's what Minority Report is, basically.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see when it's out.
Hey,
That's true.
Talking about Xbox, it reminds me that Halo Waypoint's coming out soon. We should probably talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
We made a video for it.
We did. Gus and I made a video for Waypoint.
We showed a preview showing everyone what they can expect. It comes out tomorrow, doesn't it?
We actually have a red versus blue video on there as well. I hope I can say that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I can say that.
It's in the preview.
Okay, yeah, we have a red versus blue video on there too.
Bernie didn't watch our preview, Jeff.
Oh man,
Is it an old video or is it a new one?
The one that was on there was DIY.
So that's old. That's where you guys started Griffball.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Waypoint's actually pretty fucking cool.
No, we made another Waypoint video, PSA specifically for Waypoint.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, is that on there?
That's not
I
on
didn't
there
see
yet.
it.
Okay, I probably just fucked up
That's
by
why
saying
I
that.
didn't talk about it.
We should have told me it was okay to talk
Nobody, nobody would have expected that we would make a video for Halo Waypoint.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn it, we tipped our hand.
Oops.
Yeah, that waypoint thing's pretty cool. I am a level 38 Halo player.
Out of 40 levels.
Out of 40.
Oh god, I don't want to see what mine is.
By the way, that says to me more than anything else, system might need a little tweaking. You are not a level 38 anything.
Yes, I am.
Well, it's all based on achievements, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
That would make sense for you.
I need about 160 achievements to get up to 40.
Don't worry, Bernie. I'm sure you'll be a level 40. I'm sure you'll be a higher level than Jeff.
No, so I mean
You
that's
will be
assuming-
because you have more points in ODST than I do. You'll be up there. I bet you're already level 40.
I mean, it's not just Halo. We actually read a story recently how few people finish single-player campaigns.
It was crazy.
Very low.
I think, what was it, the God, I wish I had that in front of me. Was it Call of Duty 4 had the highest rate of people finishing the campaign, and it was 45%.
Yeah, people who buy the game and play it. And
It was Fable 2 was actually the highest. It was around 45%, but Call of Duty 4 was right behind it. I'm looking at the list right here.
Oh,
I
okay,
saw a
cool.
stat recently that said less than 1% of all users who play Halo 3 have all the achievements.
I'm not surprised by that.
1,000 of 1,000.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, but still, that's pretty awesome.
Hell, I don't have all the achievements in Halo 3 now. I've only got 1575.
Well, I think this is the original 1,000.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Oh, wait, I take it back. I was looking at the wrong chart here. I was looking at percent gamer score completion. Percent completing campaign, Call of Duty 4 is the highest, and it's just over 70%.
Okay.
Oh, that's actually pretty high then.
Yeah,
70
Halo
is
3 is the second highest, right around 70%. The graph I was looking at before is people who 1,000 point a game.
Oh, what the hell are we talking about then?
Yeah, percent gamer score completion versus percent completing campaign.
70% of people completing the campaign is actually really good.
That is pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, but the
GTA 4 was under 30%.
Really?
I am amongst the majority who did not finish that.
You're amongst the
game.
majority who don't have 1,000 points in Halo, too.
No, I do. I have 1,000 points in Halo.
You're
We
not
talked
the
about
retail
this.
game,
That-
though.
That's not what you said. That's not what you said.
all right, everybody, calm down. We're all friends.
Oh, I don't have 1,000 points in Halo, and I'll never get 1,000 points.
Why not?
Because I suck at Halo.
I did. It's easy.
Like
Just-
overkill.
They're-
Fuck
they're
that.
gonna-
I'm never gonna get an overkill.
Dude, they're going to release enough DLC. It'll be super easy. I got 1,000 points.
no,
in
no,
Halo.
I'm talking about 100% completion, not
right.
1,000 points.
That's not what you said.
God damn
All
it.
right, take it easy. Listen, we
People-
started the podcast as friends. Let's end the podcast.
Gus is
as
just
friends.
like, got,
People saying stuff that they don't mean.
I can tell him he wants to get mad.
Yeah,
he does. He's looking to get
anxious
mad. He's like, this is the point of the podcast where I realize I haven't been angry yet.
Well, we're gonna,
See, he got amped up a couple
Should I-
times.
I have
should
to invent a reason to be mad now.
Should I aggro Gus?
No, it's like it is.
Piss him off.
It's like a drug. He can only go, it's higher and higher levels to sustain his need.
don't be a hater just because I hate.
Don't hate the hater. Hate the game.
Don't hate the hate. We got anything else we need to talk about this week before we wrap up?
I don't know. I feel like we've been talking for a lot. There's a lot going on right now.
Yeah,
Oh, so by this time next week, Modern Warfare 2 will be out. That's
Fuck
gonna be
yeah,
big.
dude.
I'm excited.
I got Lego Rock Band.
Oh, yeah, I got Lego Rock Band, too.
I thought it's really.
What's
cool.
the song list like that on? What's the song list like?
Just cool. Just I don't know. It's just little songs. They're all over the place. Like there's Blur song 2.
Jackson 5's on there.
Yeah.
You Give Love a Bad Name by Bon Jovi.
There you go. He's probably better to say it. I think there's a David Bowie song in there. Let's Dance is on
Let's
there.
Dance.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
David
really
Bowie's in the game, right?
It's really eclectic.
Dude, Ghostbusters, the Ray Parker Jr. song is in there.
really?
My daughter played it 3 times last night.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
How
take-
come- it was a good choice.
I'm gonna take that game up. I saw that there's the option to extract those songs into your regular Rock Band or Rock Band 2 game, which is cool to me.
Yeah.
Of all the Rock Band games, that would be the one that I would want to buy the guitar. Like I would want to buy a Lego guitar, and they didn't do that, right?
They fucked up though. They fucked up 2 ways on this Lego Rock Band release. One is what you're talking about. They didn't make instruments, and they should make kid-size instruments
Yeah,
first of all
yeah.
for it. And then they have this mode, which is the whole reason I bought it, which is very easy mode. From
Same here.
from what I can tell, very easy mode is just easy mode with less stringent scoring.
I don't think you can fail very easy.
That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for very easy. I'm looking for you use just red or just red and yellow. That's it, and you're just timing the strums.
Right, it's teaching you to strum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just teaching the kids the beat. Without I want a very easy mode, not easy but more ability to fail because I want the kids to be able to keep up with it.
Yeah, no, it sucks because my 4-year-old wants to play that game desperately because it's Lego and it's very cool, but it's still the guitar is way too big for her, and she can't handle 3 buttons and strumming.
Well, you can buy a third-party smaller guitar, right? Like those exist.
Yeah.
I don't know,
But it seems like they recognize the need. They're making an effort to fill the need for people who have kids, parents who have kids that they want to play the music game to get into music, right? That's
Right.
what you're going for.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for, too. And it seems like they recognize that. They put out a product to fill that need, and they didn't do it.
Nope. I'd be interested. It hasn't really been on my radar, but yesterday Band Hero came out, which is like the competitor to Lego Rock Band. Yeah. We should see if they have that kind of stuff in there.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't it seem kind of stupid? Does it seem dumb to you that Lego Rock Band has an expert mode?
Yes.
That seems dumb.
It seems
not
really dumb.
necessarily, because people. I mean, there's going to be completionists out there who are going to buy every Rock Band game.
I guess so. But good for them. I mean, they're buying Lego
buying a
Rock
kids
Band.
game.
Yeah. To
Well,
play
no,
expert mode?
They're buying another music game.
I don't expect Lego Indiana Jones to be fucking Halo 3 difficulty.
Well, then that's a completely different genre.
I need one-to-one controller.
I mean, Lego Indiana Jones isn't based off a series of Indiana Jones games.
Yeah, I hate to admit it, but I agree with Jack on this one. Like, I'm probably going to pick up Lego Rock Band, not for a kid or anything, but I want to play the songs that it has.
There you
All
go.
right, well, you could say Lego Star Wars was based off of Star Wars games. There's 1 billion of those.
I would say it's based off the movies more than the games.
Based off the movies more than the games. I don't understand what you're saying.
All the games are based off the movies, genius.
The Lego games are traditionally based off franchises: Lego Batman, Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Star Wars, and it's like writing a children's book about a movie, like writing a children's version of it.
I got
Whereas
Lego
Lego Rock Band
is based off a franchise, the Rock Band franchise.
Yeah, and it's their take on the Rock Band franchise.
Yeah, for fucking kids.
There's going to be hard mode in all of the Lego games too. I mean, all of like the Lego Indiana Jones games, right? Like,
No, there's just story mode and free play mode.
Yeah.
There's no difficulty settings.
No,
on them?
No.
They're
Really?
kids games. It has the word Lego on it. Lego means kid.
Not necessarily.
Yes, it does.
It goes up to 13 plus.
Let me ask you a question. Go find Legos at Target and tell me what section they're in. They're not going to be in the grown-up hunting section. They're in the fucking kids section.
Oh, look who's getting,
next
look
to
who's
the
getting
Depot
angry
box.
now.
No,
Nice.
as a parent, I'm pissed off about it because I do feel kind of duped by that game.
By which one?
By Lego Rock Band.
Really?
I bought it solely
yeah.
so that I could, like Bernie said,
They did put
like,
in expert mode, and they put as much effort into that as they should have put into the very easy mode.
Yeah, they've
Well,
got.
I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, that's literally just like adding an additional track. Like that's,
Yeah, well, this is literally just reducing a fucking
no,
color.
okay. No, you can be as pissed off as you want about the super easy or the easy mode or whatever.
I'm
but
assuming it's
I'm
difficult
saying
to
I understand
map.
why they put the expert mode.
I'm assuming it's difficult to map those buttons. That's what most of that game is determining where the note should be.
Yeah, but they should have mapped the very easy mode correctly.
Right, they should have made a very easy mode instead of
Yeah.
even taking the time to map the expert songs. They should have said, you know what, we're probably not going to need experts.
The thing is, they did take the time to map a very easy mode. They just didn't map it sufficiently. It's not correct. It's not as easy as it should
I'm telling you,
be.
they didn't map it. They just took the easy one and copied it. Like
Oh,
if you
really?
played
It's just
expert,
the same.
If you played expert and expert was advanced, but it was just harder scoring.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the very easy and the easy track were identical.
They
It
are.
uses the first 3 buttons.
Okay, yeah,
so
that's stupid.
That's easy. You
Yeah.
know,
No, it's really dumb.
Yeah, they should have spent more time on the very easy mode for sure.
I mean, hell, just have one where you just strum. You know, unless they play free play mode, but it's not.
Also, creating an expert mode for a game that's marketed towards kids is basically this is like 9 and 10-year-old kids that are in the Lego. That are into Legos at this point, right? We can agree on that.
I don't know, but they're
Kids
using,
like
using
kids like
David
Bernie's
Bowie
kid.
to market towards people who aren't kids.
Well,
Kids
that's-
aren't going to care that David Bowie's in the game.
That's fucking mismarketing, as far as I'm concerned. But
No, I think it's okay. It's like kids' version of it. That's fine.
But
yeah,
I mean,
but
also
if you're going to have an expert mode, make it be an expert mode that a kid could do.
If you-
like a kid that plays and gets better and better at Rock Band at 8 years old, make an expert mode that's attainable for an 8-year-old.
but then there's going to be that kid who could play expert level, like legit expert level. Like
yeah,
you've seen these YouTube
that
kids that
one
do that stuff.
kid, sure,
But there's-
that
But
you can-
kid should
but-
play fucking
but
Rock
you
Band.
can work up to it.
But
You can-
every kid wants very easy. Is what we're saying.
I think we're all
Yeah.
on the same page here. I don't know why we're arguing.
Yeah.
it's like booting up Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and there's a legendary mode in that. It's, it just doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Oh,
But
man.
I mean, as far as like having an expert mode, like so what Gus said, you can rip those songs to your Rock Band 2 playlist.
That's fine.
And so I mean, that's why it's in there. I mean, it's because people are just gonna want the songs. Basically, Lego Rock Band is a new music pack,
Yes.
but that also is a game.
Yes, they actually told me that in the store. Yeah, I agree with you. I just think don't put in the expert mode. If you're going to have the very easy mode in, put some time in it.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
no, I agree with
I
you.
think we all agree, and I don't
Yeah,
know why
we're
we're
all in
arguing.
agreement.
No, what I'm saying is I think I agree more.
Man, this turned suddenly hostile.
Yeah, it's like a weirdly.
Gus doesn't know what to do when other people are angry.
It's like neutral
No, I
hostility.
don't understand because we were all agreeing and everyone was still angry. All right, do we have anything else we want to talk about before we wrap up?
I don't think so.
All right,
We're all going to go to therapy now.
okay.
Group
well,
therapy.
everyone, take a breath and have a good lunch. And
Modern
we'll regroup.
Warfare 2 next week, and then Left 4 Dead the week after that.
Assassin's
and
Creed.
Assassin's Creed 2.
and Halo Waypoint this week.
And the Left 4 Dead 2 demo is available now.
Awesome.
On Marketplace.
Yeah, I started my download this morning. Okay,
All right.
thanks for listening. Bye.
TTFN.
Drunk tank, 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 drunk tank. Drunk tank. Jeff is a fag.